And welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at michaels.com. Today we're going to do the On the Bias scarf. This is a corner to corner scarf, but it's doing corner to corner in a rectangle in order to get the length of the scarf. Today we're going to discover this pattern together. So today's pattern is the standard corner to corner. We start off in the very corner and we get wider up until we get to the distance of the width of the scarf, and then we just start going down all the way around the neck and then back over in order to get the length of the scarf. So we're actually going in a rectangular format. So corner to corner does not mean square, just means that we go from one corner to the next corner, and it can be a rectangle in between. So we're using the standard carrot cakes today and a 5mm size H crochet hook in order to play. So let's talk a little bit about this pattern, and I have a little bit of a sample just to show you. This video has sound alerts added. When you hear this sound, it will be your signal that the segment is finishing up. Press stop and crochet the instructions, and then press play again to continue along in your project. So on screen is my tutorial prep work, because what I'm going to tell you to do is I'm going to tell you to go corner to corner all the way to a certain distance. There's a total of 12 boxes in the width of the scarf, so we can go as long as we want to, but the width is only 12 boxes. And how do you know what a box is? Well, if you pull it apart, you can see each one of these are looking like boxes. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 boxes. So once you have your 12 boxes wide, what we're going to do then is no longer grow this out in the one direction. So we're just gonna just go up in a straight kind of rectangular format. So if you really wanted true corner to corner, then you would then at the top here, then you would just bring it narrow. But we don't do that until we get to the end of the scarf. So we have to get our length in first before then both sides then come together like so. So it's a very easy format. If you're familiar with corner to corner, is exactly what you already know, but we're using carrot cakes and the colors were transitioned just like you see it within the model. So without further ado, let's grab your crochet hook and some yarn and let's get playing today. So if you're new to corner to corner, you are missing something quite fabulous, and this will get you started. So today I'll take my time getting started. If you're familiar with corner to corner, it's exactly what you already know. So we're going to create a slip knot to begin, and we're going to insert our crochet hook into the slip knot. So the secret to the corner to corner, it looks like boxes, and we got to treat those like boxes as we go. So what we need to do is that we need to chain a total of 6. Watch how I count though. So 1, 2, 3, that's the bottom of your box, and then I want you to pinch that third one and go 4, 5, and 6. Right where I'm pinching is exactly the very first stitch, so it's actually the 4th chain from the hook, and I want you to double crochet. So move your thumb back out of the way and going into that chain and double crochet, and then there's 2 more chains left on your chain. So I want you to do 1 double crochet into each. So that is the very corner of your corner to corner. Now the secret is how you get started, and this is where most people go off the rails, is right in this next part. So this is where we just finished. So pretend that it's a row. So corner to corner works its way up like stairways, so it goes step, step, step. So what we have to do is that we're looking at it this way, and I want you to turn it, so we're gonna turn the project like this. Okay, so your tail will be on this side next to your crochet hook. So remember what I said about boxes. So we have to build boxes when we're making things bigger. So only when we're doing the decrease later on is that we don't think about building the boxes. We're just completing boxes. So to build another box, we have to chain 6, but watch how I count. I go 1, 2, 3, move my finger and my thumb and pinch that one, and go 4, 5, and 6. Now the right where the one I'm pinching is the first one I'm gonna go to, so double crochet, move your thumb out of the way and go right into that one. It's the 4th chain from the hook for those that want to be technical, and then pull through, and you're just double crocheting. So there's 2 more chains left, so you're gonna go into the next chain and double crochet, and finally you're gonna go into the next chain, which is the final chain, and double crochet. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, something doesn't look right here. What is wrong? So what we have to do is, the way that we're doing it is that we need to fold this piece here up. Okay, so we're gonna fold it up, and right in this gapping space right here, the first one, is where you're going to slip your hook into. So slip it right in, and you're gonna slip stitch. So you're just going right into the actual space itself, not into any chain. Grab the yarn and pull through and through and slip it. And so now you can see that these here are in the vertical direction, up and down, and then these ones are lying on their side. That's the way it should look. But we have to complete another box. So every time we go across this thing, we're gonna add one more box to it. So in order to make a new box, you're gonna chain 3, and then going right into that same space, I want you to double crochet 3 times. And so when you do this, you've now just taken one box from the last row, and now you've just made it into 2 boxes, and this is what it looks like. So you can remember what I said, it looks like stairways. So now you're gonna turn your work. So how many boxes am I wide at this moment? I got 1 and 2. We need a total of 12. So you have to keep building these out. So let's review on how to start again. So we need to build another box, so we have to chain 6, but count it as in 3. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6, and right where I pinched is my first double crochet. Just move your thumb out of the way, and then double crochet the next 2. It's in the chain. So now what you have to do is that you have to get that box to be aligned with the others. So what do you gotta do? See how it's kind of sitting on its own? Tilt it up, and then coming into the space right here, just go right into the space, slip stitch it, and now you're gonna walk up the stairs through your crochet hook. So chain up 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then going into that same space that's open, and double crochet 3 more times. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we have to continue to walk up the stairways because we're building it out. So we slip stitch to the next gap space, the final one of this row, and then we walk up the stairs again. So we have to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet 3 times. Do you see that? So now when you tilt it this way, you can see here's the corner. You had now 2 boxes, now you have 3. So it doesn't matter if there's 12 this way or that way, it doesn't matter. You have to commit to which way that you're going to decrease when you get there. But you need a total of 12 in a row. So to start another row, let's just review one more time. So how many do we gotta do? We gotta do 6. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5, 6. And then move your thumb out of the way and go into the first chain right where your thumb was covering. It's the 4th chain of the hook, and double crochet into that one plus 2 of its friends along the chain. But it's now sitting out of the way, so what do we have to do? We have to tilt it up and then go right into this space right here, slip stitch it, and now we have to walk up the stairs. So we have to chain 3, and then just continue to 3 double crochets in a row. So now I'm gonna speed up because it's the same thing. So you just gotta walk up the stairs. There's gonna be another additional stairway added. Slip stitch to the next space, chain 3 to walk up more stairs. So what I want you to do is that I want you to continue this same idea until you get 12 boxes wide. And because you're doing it as a square, you're gonna have 12 boxes in one direction and 12 boxes in the other. So just go into the final and then chain 3 and then 3 double crochet to finish this row. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave that for you, and I want you to get bigger, and I'm gonna bring back my other sample and we're gonna review real quick. So here's my original sample that you see on screen here. We have 12 boxes wide, so right where we finished, you can see when I overlay it, you got a little bit of way to go before you get here. So what you have to do is that you have to continue to build out, and it will build out in both directions, and then eventually you're gonna hit your 12 boxes in a row. So there'll be 12 this way and 12 that way. The only thing is that you gotta watch here is that you have to commit either going up this all the way around to the neck of the person, or you go this way. It doesn't matter. It's corner to corner. So what we're gonna do then is that I'm gonna show you how to get started for that, and what we have to do is we have to think about increasing and decreasing at the same time, and I'll explain. So for your convenience, I'm gonna turn this into a way that makes sense. So let's just say this is the base, so this is where she's holding at the bottom or just above her hip, and it's gonna go straight up to her neck here. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna build it out this way. So remember what we have to do whenever you're building up the stairway, we have to add another box to the top of this stairs in order to continue to go straight. Here though, at the base, you don't want it going wider. So what you have to do is that you have to end in the box right above the existing box down here. So in actual fact, this line will continue to travel up. So it's only this side that we're ever gonna increase, and this side we're just going to call, it's called as a decrease. And then eventually once you get to your length that you want, then you'll start decreasing on this side, and then both of these then will run into each other right into a corner, which makes it a corner to corner. So what I'm gonna do for you now is that once you get your 12, just I'll wait for you and stop this video at this time, and then I'm gonna show you how to decrease on one side and increase in order to get the rectangle. So to keep in line with the instructions, what we're gonna do is that we're going to increase the block on this side going all the way up to our neck, and then this side we're gonna decrease. So I have 12 in either direction, but we're gonna continue the direction going up, and we're gonna end it so that this side goes up. So what we have to do for this row as we get started in this is that we have to build one more block because we're still gonna grow up towards her neck. So we're going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3 and pinch 4, 5 and 6, and you're going to then right where you pinched the 4th chain from the hook, you're going to double crochet into that one plus 2 of the existing chains that you just created. So what you want to do is that you want to go across this row, but instead of increasing by going over top of the last block, you were going to stop in this block right here, and it's gonna travel up. So what I'll do is that we're just gonna fold this up, get it started. Let's walk up the stairs. 1, 2, 3, and I want you to continue to do this across, which you already know, but I want you to stop right near the end of this row, and I'll show you how to finish this row to prevent you from getting it making it bigger in this direction. So we only want to grow in this direction. So along my route here it changed color. It is Karen Cakes. It does change on its own. And so what I told you is that we have to end in this box right above this one. So we don't want to extend outward because we're not growing in that direction. So to do the final box is what you already know. So you just chain up 3 and then 3 double crochets into there. So the trick is that we don't want to go out any further. So we want to create a nice flat edge here. And to do that we're just gonna slip stitch where we normally would, and we're gonna stop. So normally to grow we would chain up 3 and then add 3 more. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna turn and work, and we wanna keep this edge from growing. So in order to do that we have to just slip stitch our way along the side until we get to the first space that you see. So I'm just slip stitching 3 times and going and slip stitching the 4th time right into the space itself. If you force your slip stitching to be too tight, then you'll end up with more of a non equal side. So in order to go up the other side now, you're just going to then chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3. We're not building out, so you can't do your 6. So it's just straight up 3, and you're going to do your 3 double crochet right in. And so this side never grows anymore. It's always gonna end early, so when you come back you're gonna end on top of this block here. You're not gonna grow it out to make it any wider. So you can see that you have a nice clean edge. So you're going now to gonna go up the stairs just like you normally would, but on the top of the stairs you do want to go on top of this last one in order to get it bigger so that you can reach it up to the neck and around the person. So in this direction we're still growing, but in this direction we've stopped, just like you see. So continue to go up the stairs, and I'll see you on the other side. So I've now continued to go up the stairs just like you see, and now I'm at the top of the stairs, and I'm gonna still continue to grow in this direction. So that means when I get to the top of the stairs I have to build up another stair. So chain up 3 and do 3 double crochets right into that same space. Just like that. So what we have to do is we have to turn our work. So we're gonna still continue to grow up in this direction. So we have to build another block. So it's not one of those ones that you can stitch across and start, because then you'll start decreasing on both sides. So this side we continue to increase. So chaining up 3, pinch 4, 5, 6, and then right where you pinched is the first one, and double crochet that one plus 2 more of its friends along the chain. And now you're gonna continue to go all the way back across the stairs just like as you already know it. So what's the key? Well, the other side we're going to, let me just fold this up here. So the other side we're gonna continue to go across, and then you stop on top of this block, so then you keep it flat going out. So continue to go across and I'll meet you there in just a moment. So now coming to the other side, and I just have to look where the final block is. You know, it's not uncommon for people to add an additional block and then realize that you did it and then you have to back out. I do it all the time, just so you know. So the last block is just going in, just 3 double crochets, and then you just slip stitch, and this side is the one that's decreasing, so you slip stitch to where you should, and then you're going to stop and then turn your work and then slip stitch your way up. So let's quickly review. So you're gonna go and do this back and forth until you get to the length that you need, and the pattern has that information as well. And what's gonna happen is that you're just gonna go up until you get to the length that you're satisfied. You need 2 balls of carrot cakes in order to do the full length. And then what's gonna happen is that you're gonna get to the full length and it will be, this is your length here, and then eventually this will be long enough, and then you're gonna decrease on both sides. So to start the decrease on both sides, this side is still already in the decrease because you're working it up on the narrow side. So what we have to do to get the decrease is that you stop in the block that's right above here. You no longer continue to grow it outward. So when you start a next row, 1, 2, and 3, you're just going to go up the stairs like you normally would, but instead of adding that additional block to the top of the stairs, you're just gonna stop on the top one right here. And then you're gonna then slip stitch and then come back, and then you finished on the top of the one that I'm making now. And so what this is doing is that it's eliminating a block out each time, and then each time you do that it gets faster and faster because there's less work for you to do. So let me get to the top of the stairs here, well close to it, and then I will show you to make sure that you are in the decrease mode, and then we're going to review that. So I'm now coming all the way back up to the top here, and we've decided that we're no longer gonna grow it. Obviously my sample is much smaller, so what we have to do is that we have to finish on the last block right here and no longer add any more blocks in order to prevent it from getting any longer. So you got your final block in, slip stitch, and bring it through. So when you start this row now, this is the length of it. You're just going to slip stitch across. So 1, 2, and I'm just going across the top of the stitches, 3, and then right into the space, 4. So I'm just gonna do what I know. So I'm gonna chain up 3 and then 3 in, and then I'm gonna stop right over here. So what's gonna happen now, you can see it actually, it's already starting to happen, is that this now is going to start meeting at the point, just like this. So what you're just gonna do is that you're just gonna go back and forth, no longer adding to any sizes, and then you're gonna notice yourself actually running out of stitches because of the fact is that you're going to be losing 1 block every time you do this. So you just have to keep on going until you get right to the point, and then once you get right to the point then you can fasten off. We have several tutorials on corner to corner if you would like, and we have different options including graph gans and etc. that I think that you'll love at the same time. So this is it for now. On behalf of Michaels.com as well as the Crochet Crowd, please enjoy your day and enjoy your new scarf. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.